is to only do, the golden rule is to only do what is comfortable for you today. Every day your body's going to feel different. So if there are things we're doing and you're like, oh, not today, just have a seat and take some breaths and follow along with our breath. There's a belief that if you are watching something and believing or visualizing it happening within your body, that your body has the same response to it. So we'll believe that. We're going to be going back and forth between chair and standing. And if we're standing and you don't feel like standing, just stay in your chair. Remember, you're not being graded. You do not have to participate the whole time. And yeah, this is your body. You know it better than anyone else. So make sure that you honor where you are today. Okay? No judgment. We're assessing. Everything we do, we're assessing. Tonight, it'll feel different. All right. So we're going to start with some of my favorite things for chilly, cool weather to get our blood warmed up a little bit. And this can be done as with all of these multiple times through the day, through the week. There's no negative impact. So keeping that in mind, if something comes across your mind, you think, "Whew, I remember that," and it feels like you want to do it, just go ahead and make that movement, because that's how you start to integrate it in your own day. I'm sitting, I think most of you are, excuse me, so we're going to start seated, but you can certainly do this standing. So, love the wheels. Okay, so sit forward in your chair. This chair has arms, and I have another chair behind me without arms, which I may switch back and forth. But I want you to be forward in the chair so that you're using your lower back muscles. It also helps to put your shoulders over your hips and opens up your diaphragm so you get a little more breath. First thing we're going to do is the crane and turtle, and this again is for the spine. So we're going to look up, feel your ribs lift up, sip in some breath, put a smile on your face. It's a beautiful day. And as you exhale, fold out from the waist, just let your hands rest on your knee, come out as far as you can, and then draw on your abdomen, because you're going to curl your tailbone under, bring your chin in and roll the shoulders forward, pushing your spine back toward your chair. Roll up nice and slow, and then lift your chin to the sky on the inhale. Feel the whole front of your body lifting up. Again, practice that smile, fold out on the exhale. Draw in the abdomen, curl the tailbone under, roll the shoulders, feel your whole spine opening up. Push back through this chair and lift to the sky on the inhale. Exhale, fold out. Draw in the abdomen, tuck the tailbone under, press your spine back. Inhale, lift up. And exhale. So this is part of cranial sacral QiGong. And what we're doing is we're stimulating the cranial sacral fluid in the spine. So we're massaging the intestines, giving a little massage to the liver and spleen as we open up the kidneys and the spine. So if you start to feel a little nauseous, that might not be so rare. Don't be feeling like there's something wrong with you. Inhale, lift up, exhale, fold. Draw in the abdomen, curl the tailbone, let your shoulders be empty. Press the spine back. Last one in this direction. Exhale, fold out. Draw in the abdomen, shoulders forward, curl up nice and slow. Then lift your chin. And we're going to reverse. So lifting the front of your body, keep the body tall and bring your chin into your chest. So just in reverse, roll the shoulders, draw in your abdomen, then curl the tailbone under. Try to keep your head close to your body. When you come down as far as you can, lift your nose and chin, roll the tailbone back, lift the head to the sky. Exhale, chin in, shoulder forward, curl the tailbone. Sweep the nose and chin, curl the tailbone back, look up. Again, chin in, exhale. Feel the spine opening as you roll the head down. Lift the nose and chin, tailbones curled back. And draw in the abdomen. That just helps to keep the lower back open. Shoulders forward, roll down. Inhale, lift up. Again, chin in, draw in the abdomen, open the lower back. One more. Inhale, put a big smile on your face. As you tuck your chin in, smile into your body, draw in the abdomen, press back. And bring your body back up. Take a breath. So again, we're just helping to get circulation moving through the spine because that's the beginning of your central nervous system. While we're here, I just want you to rock. So I want you to shift the weight on one sitting bone and then move it to the other. Move it back and forth. So if you were in a kayak or a canoe and you were going over some rocks or rapids, you'd be moving back and forth over the water. And this rocking back and forth, if you sit, so if you have a desk job and you need to be sitting or you're watching a binge of Netflix, this little gentle, so feel the sitting bones like they're pumping. Go rock from one to the other. And you can do this as fast or as slow as it's comfortable for you. But again, this is another way to get a little circulation moving through the body. Because the whole point of QiGong is to prevent stagnation in the body. When there's stagnation, that's when dis-ease sets in. Pond of water. If it doesn't move, then green stuff grows on it, right? Good. Now slow it down. And we're going to curl around the tailbone next. So this is easier in a chair without arms, but everything's possible, right? Just be all the way forward. Now we're going to roll all the way around the tailbone. So the closer you are to the front of your chair, the more you have a chance to let the spine drop back as you roll over the tailbone. See if you can feel the tailbone as you roll back. The tailbone connects to the brain. You can feel free to close your eyes and bring your attention to your abdomen and notice as you curl back that it's crunching in, and as you roll forward, there's an opening. Come all the way to the sides, just giving that little massage. So when we're standing, we're doing a little hip rotation. And now we're going to go in the other direction. So we'll redo this in a standing position, but it's nice to do this in a chair because then you can feel all 3 points, both sitting bones and the tailbone. In a soft chair, yeah, you may not feel it as much. Do one more in this direction. Good. Next, we're going to do lifting the sky. So lifting the sky, again, is to help improve oxygen. As we are in these colder days, we tend to curl in to stay warm, or we cuddle under the under the blanket on the sofa watching those TV shows you like. And what happens when we're sinking down, even as I'm sitting back in the chair, I'm crunching up the intestines. So if we can, again, sit forward, try to be forward on your chair. And when it's not comfortable, of course, lean back, but do what you can. Lace your fingers. Try it opposite the way you normally do. And then turn your palms out. Inhale. Lift your hands to the sky. Push straight up. Look up. Push up through the heel of your hands like you're holding up the sky. Taking some more breath. Part your hands and exhale. Let your arms drift slowly from the sky to the earth. If it's not comfortable for you to lift your arm, just do what is comfortable. Okay, again, reverse the way you lace. Inhale. And this time, as you exhale, push up through the heel of your right hand. So we're going to lengthen the right side of your body. I'm mirroring you. Right side opens up the liver. Ease off. Exhale. Again, lace the fingers. Turn the palms out. Inhale and press up through the heel of the right hand. Left hand. Lengthening the left side of the body, opening your spleen. Ease off and exhale. Nice and slow with the breath. So we want our exhale to be slower and longer than our inhale. Breathe in. Both hands. This feels so nice, especially if you're sitting. And again, this is a nice sofa stretch. Look up. Now close your eyes and feel your hands drifting from the sky to the earth. Take a little breath. So even those little warm-ups are nice to do during the day at any time. We're going to move to standing. If you need to stay in a chair, that's fine. You're just going to do some tapping and you'll do a variation of the tapping. You can stand though, we're going to be swinging your arms. So again, it's what you can do. So wide legs, make a nice strong base. This is called knocking on the door of life. So my knees are bent and I'm going to bring my hip forward. So my hips are the reason that my arms are moving. So bend the knee as you bring the hip forward, and that makes it easier. All about making it easy. So the moves are to be done without effort. Of course, as you know, practicing makes it feel a little easier each time. And we're tapping on the front of the hip bone in the front and at the lower back. A little swinging. Tapping or knocking can be as hard or as soft as it wants to be for you today. Now bring your hands up under your ribs. Nice way to, again, start to warm up those joints. Bring your hands up under the collarbone, tapping on the lung meridian. So each of these tapping areas are intended to connect with the different organs. So here we're doing the lung meridian. Try to keep the hips moving, just so we're getting that blood flowing. Come back down under the rib cage. The pancreas and liver, down to the lower back for the kidneys and adrenal glands. And slowing it down. Turn your palms to the floor. Just close your eyes for a moment. Or look down if you're struggling with balance or you have vertigo. Bring your attention to the center of your palms and the space between your fingers. Be aware of any tingling that you might be feeling. Now walk your feet underneath you and we're gonna sweep our hands. So I'm just stepping. This is a little rebalancing. It's good for calming the emotions. And just brushing down the front of my body. Remember, your skin is an organ. So we want to honor that organ. This gentle brushing has a calming effect. So we're going to complement this move of bringing fire into water. So the heart is the fire element. The kidneys are the water element. So this calms us down. Next, we're going to go across the heart meridian, down the arm, sweep. So I'm moving across the body and down the inside of the arm. Just let your hand flick off the end of your palm. So inhale, slide across, exhale. If you wonder how long do you do it, well, in your own practice, do it as long as it feels good. General rule of thumb is about 9 times. We always pick an odd number. And again, you could be stepping or shifting your weight from one side to the other. The movement can be nice and slow. Again, we're just reviewing these because the more you repeat an action, the more it builds memory in your body. So later it'll come back to you to use it. And now let's just bring our hands to our abdomen. And again, these little pauses are to invite us to have awareness about the work you've already done. So again, you could be having your eyes closed or gazing down. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure you're not holding any tension in the arms. And then bring your mind to your breath, noticing how you're breathing. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to be doing a little bit of movement. If you can, with a bit of a jump. We're not leaving the ground. So, but if you want to hold on to a chair, you come up onto the balls of the feet, bend your knees, drop heavy in the heels. So this is an option to use the chair for support. If you are good with your balance, feet under your hips, you're going to swing your arms back, lift up on the balls of the feet, and exhale, drop down heavy. So imagine that you're waking up somebody down below. Big open mouth, exhale. Do what you can. If you're in a chair, look, you can do this in a chair. Lift the heels, swing your arms back. So always there's a way to do a little bit, which is better than nothing. And again, this helps generate heat. And the point of this is to help slough dead cells out of the body into the bloodstream. We're also warming the kidneys. Two more. Good. And again, just bring your arms to your abdomen. Take a moment with your eyes closed. Calm the breath. Let's just massage your abdomen. So rotate the hand in little circles. This is called spiraling the energy in. So stress is always chipping away at our life force energy. It's how we get run down and how dis-ease settles in. And when we restore the body, we're helping to rebuild that life force energy. Think of it as filling up the well of water if there's been a drought. Good. Next, we're going to do shake the tree. Again, one of my favorites. I love doing this in the morning, especially on a chilly day when you wake up. So again, you could do this in a chair, and you're just going to lift and drop the shoulders if you're in a chair. If you're able to stand up, my feet are not going to lift up off the floor at all. It's a lift and drop with a knee bend. So think of lifting up and dropping down, and imagine that your arms are not connected to your body. Yeah. So feel the shoulders lift. After a while, it's easier to lift and drop them, but in the beginning, squeeze them up and drop them heavy. And this is going to help get rid of any tension in the neck and shoulders. Big open mouth exhale. Let your arms be a little bit away from your body, like there's an egg under your armpit. Shake your hands. Lift your arms up. You're shaking the branches of a tree. Get the fruit. Remember, the best fruit is not what's lying on the ground. A little bit of effort. And again, if you're struggling with neuropathy, this was really helpful to bring the blood back into the fingertips. Let's go one more time. You can turn. Wind's blowing. Open mouth, exhale. Imagine you're at a big concert. Okay, let's come back down. And again, just turn your palms. So as you stop, bend your wrist. Again, close your eyes. Feel that tingling in your palms. Center of the heart meridian ends in the palms. So this helps to just start moving some circulation through the body to encourage healing within. Now we're going to just open the legs and move a little more gentle. Again, if you're in a chair, you can easily do this because we're going to be moving the arms and we're shifting. So start first, shift the weight from one side to the other. And just feel the weight moving. So with my knees bent, I'm not popping into my hip. All the weight's moving because my knees bending, my hips are staying stable. If you have knee issues, this is good for them. Now we're going to imagine you have a ball in your hand. And our goal as Americans is to slow down. So as you shift to one side, whatever leg is you're shifting onto, that hand is going to be on top. And then we're going to start to slide. Keep the ball. If you have a ball in your hand, shift. And if you want to turn a little bit, it's nice too. A little good for the joints. So in the middle, hands are parallel, and as you start to go to the other side, they transition. And shift the weight. So feel the weight moving across the bottom of the foot. Follow the ball with your breath. Try breathing in as you slide across, exhaling as you turn a little bit, rotating the hands. Light ball. nice and soft. Feel the hands mirroring one another. Just take a little wave. Beautiful. Life doesn't always have to be hard and fast. And cultivate gentleness. We can send more of that out into the world, right? To be gentle to ourselves so we can cultivate that within to share it more to people around us. One more. As your hands come back to center, just lay them over your abdomen. Just step them again. Send that energy inward. For our next move, you're right where you need to be if you have your feet underneath your body. So I have shoes on. I'm going to kick them off real quick. You don't have to. It's just easier. I don't like shoes. So I don't know if you can see my feet, but I'm going to let you imagine that my hand is my foot. I'm going to lift all my toes up. So lift your toes and then spread them out and then lay them back down on the floor. Now, if you're in shoes, you'll feel a little wonky, but you can do it. Okay. So with the toes lifted, what do you notice? If you lift all your toes, you feel the inside and the outside of your foot. So if you struggle with balance, or we had someone saying they have plantar fasciitis, so we're going to work a little bit the tendons of the bottom of the feet. So if you lift your toes up, you feel the inside and outside of the front and back of your foot. We call that the four corners. With your toes spread, lay them all down. So all 9 points on both feet are touching the ground. 5 toes, inside and outside of the ball and the heel of the foot. Leave your foot planted. In physical exercise, they call this isometric. So we're not going to move the foot. We're going to leave it planted. We're just taking the inside ankle and pressing it toward the outside ankle. Feel the strength in your legs. Feel the legs activating. Can you feel that? So, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm pushing out with the heels. If you see it, any of my legs are just moving a little bit. So push that out and then sustain that. So this helps also with the arch of your foot, which tends to start to sink like everything else as we age. Try lifting your ribs away from your hips. Keep the ankles engaged out. Continue breathing. You're not holding your breath. This is a way of what we call grounding. So this grounding, when you're activating the ankles, you'll feel your whole legs feeling really strong, like you're planted into the ground like a mountain. So if you keep the ankles activated, the strength of the legs, if you're in a stressful situation, this is how we can observe the world around us without connecting to it. Very helpful if you're in a stressful situation. Maybe there's stress in your home. You can be observing someone while your focus is inward, engaging the ankles, concentrating on your breath. release. Soften the legs. Take a little couple steps. Easy to do if you're standing in line at a store or something and there's a price check. All these things can integrate, and we can find ways to plant these little activities. If you're stirring some delicious food that you're cooking on your cooktop, you could be practicing activating the ankles, engaging the legs, feeling the strength in your legs. So while we're on the legs, let's do a little for the hips. Remember, lymph nodes and the hips are compressed when we sit a lot. So everywhere there's a deep bend, behind the knees, at the hips, under your arms and your elbows, those 8 points are what we want to keep circulation moving through because they're compressed a lot more than other parts of our body. If you're in a chair and it's not easy for you to get up, I want you to just sit to the side. Maybe there's a day you don't have any energy, or you're working and you need to stay on your computer. Slide your hip all the way over so one leg is not on the floor. My glute is off the chair. I can just let my leg hang. And you can do some tapping or open palm hitting on this hip to bring circulation down. Why do people start to have circulation issues? The more we're sitting, the more we're compressing that artery that's going to take blood down to the legs and the ankles and feet. So this is a good thing to help start opening the hip up and getting the blood flow. If you want to get a little more active, you can hold on to a chair or a wall, put all the weight into one leg that's closest to the chair, and we're going to swing the other leg. Now, when you start swinging, I'd like you to try to lift your ribs up so that your body's lifting up toward the sky. And if you're able, opposite direction. So the leg is forward, the arm is back. You can hold on to a chair, or if you don't need to and you want to practice your balance, just stay close to something in case you need to hold on. This also helps to open the psoas muscle, which is that muscle we use for balance. Your swinging does not have to be big. It's your range of motion, not mine. Do 2 more. And then as you start to put your foot down, flex your foot so the heel comes down first. Bend the knee and sink all the weight in that leg so the other leg is empty. Again, you can switch to the other side or not. No one knows how you're feeling today. Maybe one side you just need to leave your leg hanging off the chair. You might have had an injury of some sort. Think about lifting the ribs up, whether you're in a chair or standing with us today. The more you keep the ribs up, we're opening the psoas muscle, which is our balance muscle. We're getting more oxygen in the diaphragm. And we're letting all that juicy goodness that you put in your body this morning move through the intestines freely. Two more. Flex your foot and plant it down. Take a breath. Let's go back to the chair in case you're a little had enough for right now. So we're going to have a seat. You can stay standing if you like. But it's nice to go back and forth so we don't get too worn out, right? All right. So once you sit, again, try to be forward with your ribs higher than normal. Or you can even think about curling your tailbone back. That also helps to bring our body up a little bit. And get back the natural curve that we start to lose. All right. So now we're going to do spinal cord breathing. This can be done standing. Again, I'm forward all the way in my chair. And it's a flexion and extension of the spine. So think of your spine and the movement forward and back. Again, you're going to curl the tailbone back, squeeze in your shoulders, look up. Open the chest, big smile. Practice the smile, it's important. Your body is eavesdropping on your thoughts. As you exhale, you're going to curl under and bring your elbows together, push your spine back, chin to chest. Inhale. Curl the tailbone back, squeeze in the shoulders, look to the sky, put a smile on your face. Exhale. Curl under, elbows together, press back. Breathe in. Show your teeth. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chin in, press back. Inhale, look up, curl the tailbone back, squeeze in the shoulders. Look to the sky. Exhale. Inhale, look up, curl the tailbone back, squeeze in the shoulders, smile to the sky. Exhale. Try two more. Inhale, look up. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And then let your body rest. Take a breath. And now let's do a little bit for our sinuses and a little face massage. So this helps to bring oxygen up under the skin, and it gives you a more youthful appearance. We'll believe it, right? Use your ring finger. And we're going over these points because here we are in the fall and hopefully everyone's masking, but our lungs are more vulnerable than any other organ because it's the only internal organ with an opening to the outside world. That's why viruses tend to attack it more. If you have allergies that are seasonal, this is a really nice thing to help open up the sinuses. Using your ring finger helps to reduce some of the tension and pressure. Come right to the side of your eye and rotate your fingers in circles. Again, you can close your eyes. And then go in the other direction. Again, you can count 9 times. If one side feels more tender than the other, you could simply have a little bit of a blockage. I'm going to slide my mask down for this so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to go from the corner of the eyes to the bottom edge of your nostrils, where the nostrils and the cheeks connect. 9 times and then reverse. Now we're going to take your middle finger, start at the center of your eye, and just slide down to the bottom of your cheek. When you get to the bottom of the cheek, you're going to push up underneath the bone. There's going to be a little indentation that you're going to feel. And that's where you plant the finger and make circles. These are all part of the sinus cavity. And then go in the other direction. When you're finished, remember, if any of these points are tender or sore, it can just be that it's blocked. So massaging these areas a few times a day is very helpful. Now take your finger to the corner of your eye and you're just going to slide it back to where the hair and the skin connect. Part your teeth, so if you're holding any tension in your jaw, you can help release that. Often we're clenching without even being aware of it. This is a nice one to close your eyes and start purring. And then go in the other direction. I'm going to take my hands from here. I'm going to slide them down in front of my ear. So if you open up your mouth, feel the hinge of the jaw and press in. So if you keep your mouth open a little bit, it's a little easier. You'll feel that indentation again and the jaw hinge. And go in the other direction. From here, take your finger again to the middle of the eye, and we're going to slide it straight up to the eyebrow. On the eyebrow, you'll feel a soft spot right above the pupil. We're going to do, again, 9 circles. You're welcome to do more. It's just an average. And go in the other direction. And now we're going to take our index finger and bend it. Bring the knuckles together and lay them in the middle of your forehead. And we're going to press to the outside, like you're ironing out any lines in your skin. Before we go to other points, we're going to do what they call tiger claw hands, and we're going to frame your face. So just take your fingers, spread them around the outside edge of your face, right at the hairline usually is a nice spot. So I'm just opening my hands like I'm touching my face, and wherever your fingers stay or connect, we're going to rotate. So I'm just pressing in with my fingertips, giving a little massage around the outside edge of my face. Rotate a few times in each direction. If you feel a spot that's a little more tender, you can press in a little bit more in that area. Next, we're going to take our finger. We're going to go from the bottom of the ear, slide it back to the hairline. So it's a straight line from the bottom of the ear to the skull, where the hairline or base of the skull is. And again, you're going to feel that little soft spot. Push up and make your circles. And you can use any finger. I'm just using the longest one. You can put a little more pressure in this area. It's not as tender as our face, so it can take a little more pressure. Go in the other direction. And we're going to keep our finger in that spot and slide it all the way back. Come back to where the skull and the spine connect. And I'm using, you can use 2 fingers or 3 fingers and sweep it up the spine. So I have my chin tilted, and then I'm going to lift my chin and let the weight of my head hang over my fingertips. You can just hold it steady or make those circles and experiment and see which feels better for you today. Because some days it feels good just to press up and let the weight of your head hang on it. A little massage, that's nice too. There's a muscle back here that's connected. If we go out a little bit, 2 fingers to the outside of that point, we're getting the optical nerve. Now we're going to go back and bring our fingers to the top of the ear. press in right above your ear on the side of your head. Again, you're going to feel soft spot. You could use more than one finger here as well. Make sure you have your teeth parted. Go in the other direction. This one feels nice. And now I'm going to use my middle finger and thumb, and I'm going to pinch the top of my ear. I'm going to leave my thumb at the top of the ear and slide the other two fingers. So I'm just drawing a straight line up to the top of my head. And I'm going to move one hand. So one finger is going to stay in the middle of my head, right between the two ears. You can either push straight down in this point, or you can make the little circles. If it feels really weird and wonky, a little tingly, a little painful, you've got the right spot. This is good for headaches. So remember this point if you struggle with headaches, and I'll show you a couple other tricks for headaches as well. When the pandemic started, I made a whole thing on headache and migraine. It should be on the YouTube channel. But in case you can't find it, you don't want to search for it, this point and the next two are very helpful. So after you're done holding that, you can release, and it barely does work with your headache. Now we're going to bring two fingers back to that point. So find that spot again. And the next thing we're going to do is rub from that point to the back of the head. Just repeat this several times from the middle toward the back. So we're rubbing in between the ears. You think about if any of you have pets, when you rub between their ears, what do? Oh, they look very happy. It's comforting. Yeah. So this again is good if you struggle with headache. The next point we're going to do is on your hand. So even though it's for the head, the point is here. So open one hand and use the thumb of the opposite hand. You're going to bend the thumb right in the web of the finger. And where the thumb ends, that's the point. Just push straight in. And what's really nice about this point is you can be walking down the street holding this point. It's really tender. Repeat this a few times. It'll help improve your headaches. It works. Again, if it's sore, you're probably prone to headaches. You can massage it as well. If your tendons are sore on your hand, you can always, once you have the point, go in with a knuckle, saving your fingertips. And now we're going to go to the other side. So bend the finger, press in, rotate. Remember, our body stores emotions and memories. Our mind is just for intellect. So when we are doing these practices, we're opening up and releasing. All kinds of things besides bodily gas can come out. If you feel like you're having any emotions, it's a good thing. The sky opens up and the rain comes down and it nourishes the earth. So the more we open up and release what we're experiencing in our body, and we let go of any kind of fear or anger, grief, we can unveil those feelings of gratitude and kindness. And we have to start cultivating them within ourselves. So if you're having a rough day today, I know some of you are here, just honor that. This too shall pass. Take all your fingers and spread them out and comb back from the front of your head to the back. Again, this just helps to bring blood flow through the head. We're going to go from our head to our toe today. And then take your hands and lay them flat, very softly, like you're barely touching your skin. Sweep your hands up and over your head, down over your ears, around your chin, back up. Like you have fresh spring water that you're pouring over your face. One more. Really nice, right? You can brush down your chest. And now, we didn't do as much of the points today as we normally do, but I'm just going to go over 2 points on the hands and the feet for you to remember, so that when you're sitting, if you are not able to raise your leg over your foot or your foot over your knee, get a little ball. The drier balls work well. The prickly ones that you can get at Modell's or Marshall's work well too. Just put a ball on the floor and rub your foot over the ball while you're sitting. It's really helpful for plantar fasciitis. You're going to break down any stagnant energy, they call it, in the foot. So the point, I love the wheelie chair, is the point is under the ball of the foot. So got too many dark clothes on. If I have the ball of my foot, I'm going to bring either your thumb, or you can use your elbow or a knuckle. You're going to press into that point. Might be easier to see if I have my sock off for you. So right under the ball of the foot, use your knuckle, elbow, or thumb. This is good for the kidneys again. Why the kidneys? Because they're the regulators of the body. They are flushing out what we don't need. So also the kidneys have the qualities of gratitude for the yin quality and fear. So if we can get rid of that fear, we can open ourselves up to that feeling of being grateful and enjoying what is in front of us for the day. So we do that on both sides. One side may feel a little more tender than the other. Again, that means you are perfectly normal. And of course, if you've had any injury, it's going to feel different, right? The nice thing about having your hands and feet with you wherever you go is that you can massage them. And we don't ever think to take time to do that. But when you're on your sofa or sitting in a chair, maybe you're even reading a book on the table, you can always have one foot just rubbing, or maybe both. The other thing you can do is rub the top and the bottom. Again, we're just bringing blood into the areas that are sitting. The blood flow isn't going down because we're sitting, and we've got the arteries a little compressed all the way down behind the knees and the hips. And the other point is the heart meridian. It's just here in the middle of the wrist. So again, you can use your knuckles for this or your thumb. Just press in. If you have knuckle issues, tendon issues in your hands, use a knuckle. Works just as well. Let's do the other side. My favorite thing about this time of year is it invites us to have more time to take naps because the days are shorter. It's a little cooler when you get cuddled up in that blanket. It's so cozy. Sometimes you just can't help it. That's a good thing. Just let yourself rest, especially when you're going through your experience of recovery. You want to let the cells in your body restore, and they restore when your body's at rest. Just rotate the wrist. And then go in the other direction. It's very strange in reverse. Good. Let's do one more for the back of the heart before we go today. Bring your arms out, turn your palms up, cross your right arm over the left, wrap your arms to the best of your ability, lift the elbows, point the elbows out. Now my spine is tall, so I'm going to push back through the back of the shoulders, point the elbows out, lift the hands up, and then let your head rest in toward your chest. Keep pointing out with the elbows and lifting up with your arms. Breathe. Don't forget to exhale. Ease off. Take a breath. And we're going to repeat on the other side. So bring the left arm over the right. Do a little wrap around. Again, what you can do. Point the elbows out. Press your spine back. Lift your hand up. Bring your chin in toward the chest. Big exhales. Let go of that tension in the shoulders so our brain can get all the messages the body's sending us. Ease off. I hope that you're feeling a little different than when you started today. Thank you for being with me. It was my honor to have each of you here. I hope to see you again next week at 10:30.
YouTube.
The YouTube.